Over 100 bodies have been found in this Manchester canal, and many of these deaths have never been solved. Police claim they must be accidents, but it's led the locals to believe a serial killer is to blame.
I've got friends that have been pushed in.
There's loads of people that have died on that lot.
And it's all been covered up.
So I'm here to try and find the answers and actually speak to a chief inspector that may have evidence to prove these weren't just accidents.
I mean, I was aware of the stories around the Manchester pusher. Vast numbers of people died in the waterways. It seemed to me a high number.
28 open verdicts?
Yeah. The point of an open verdict is neither an accident nor it's a crime. You know, there can be no determination. But when I started to look at them, there were some things that I didn't felt sat right.
Now, in that exact part of the canal, one of the most suspicious deaths happened. A boy called Nathan Tomlinson was found, missing a lot of his personal belongings.
There was a couple of things with Nathan. He'd been into one of the pubs in the city centre, one of the bars. There was some CCTV footage. I'm not sure, how can you tell it's definitely him? At times he was just a blob, perhaps.
They were tracking the wrong person?
Yeah.
Now, this is literally the middle of nowhere, and to even get down to the canal here, you have to make quite an effort. I don't even know how we're going to get down here.
There was nothing there. He got no friends there, he got no contacts there or anything like that. Plus he wasn't drunk, so what was he doing in that location?
He would have had to stumble all the way down this big hill to even get down here. So the police claim the reason Nathan was missing his phone and his wallet is that this weir stripped off his jacket. Now, I just find it odd that it was his phone and wallet missing, but his cigarettes and keys were still on him, because they're valuable items a thief would want to steal.
So I think all those things combined just raised quite some suspicion. I mean, one on their own would have been suspicious, wouldn't it?
And this is one of 28 cases that have never been solved. Now, there's three leading theories. Firstly, that drunk people are falling into the canal and accidentally drowning. Secondly, there's gangs robbing and attacking people and just getting away with it. But the most talked about theory is that Manchester has a serial killer known as the Pusher. And the next case we're investigating with Tony has pretty disturbing evidence supporting that theory. David was the second case that you were looking into.
Yeah, it was near Old Trafford, wasn't it? He'd been talking to his dad on the phone at the time, and then right at the end he screamed in the phone, and then it just went dead, and then later he was found in the water.
Tony said it was kind of in the centre here, his body was recovered, and the police are claiming that David's accidentally fallen into the water here. Now, I don't know how that's possible with these huge barriers. Doesn't matter how drunk I am, if I stumble, I'm getting stopped. Like, clearly David's probably seen something that has scared him. Maybe someone was chasing him. David's phone was actually found along the side somewhere here.
The police didn't find the phone. It was his uncle that went to the scene 2 days later. Kind of think, well, was it searched properly in the first place? I don't know.
I think it's possible, in my opinion, someone has harmed David, which is why I just want to keep investigating all these cases. Maybe it's not a serial killer, but there might even be multiple people committing crimes by the canals and just getting away with it. Didn't he have some markings on his body as well?
They could have been before or after. It's difficult to say. If somebody's in water, it destroys evidence, you know, DNA and all those kind of things. And DNA is really powerful, evidentially.
Do you think that could be a big reason why a lot of these cases where people are found in the water are left unsolved? Because if they are crimes, it would be a lot harder to tell.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not suggesting that these cases are easy to solve.
The police just claim these are all drunk accidents. This is nowhere near the bars. I just don't get how he ended up down here.
To be honest with you, there's not a lot of people who are here that late. Not that many drunken people around here, really.
So that gentleman who literally lives in this building over here, next to where David died, said it's not a nightlife spot, which just adds to the theory that David's case wasn't a drunk accident and something more sinister. Now, the similarity between all these deaths is the victims have been out partying and enjoying Manchester's nightlife, which is why we'll be staying out all night tonight to see for ourselves which of the three theories is most likely to be true. But first, it was time to look into the final case of Suvik Pal, which has the most compelling evidence of why his death may have not been an accident. Now, the night that Suvik went missing, he was kicked out of the club for skipping the queue in the bathroom, and weeks later was found just in the canal 50 feet away.
Suvik's was probably the hardest. There was CCTV of him getting kicked out, and there was a guy with him. There was no connection, no friend of his or anything like that.
And I'm going to take you guys down to the canal right now and show you why I don't believe the police's theory. Venue, right here. Everyone's lining up, everyone's getting ready to go in. Just down here is the canal.
So they walked round the back, and there was CCTV footage of him walking down the back of the canal. But then the guy with the t-shirt walked back on his own. He had never been found, that particular guy.
Now, the police believe Suvik accidentally drowned by trying to cross the canal in order to sneak back into the club he'd been kicked out of. However, the canal path literally hugs the back of the venue. At no point would Suvik need to get into the water to try and sneak back in. He can literally walk down this path and be at the back of the warehouse project. At no point does he need to cross this canal to get in or near this building. He's already here. That makes absolutely no sense.
My feeling is that that person that walked with him would have known more. He might have been involved.
The fact that Suvik's family have never found out what happened to their son is just horrifying. And the police, I don't think, have finished this investigation. After looking into these cases with Tony, I don't believe all these deaths are just accidents. So in order to prove this, I'm going to be staying out all night on the strip of canal with the most deaths to try and capture proof of a serial killer or multiple criminals targeting vulnerable drunk people. But we had no idea what chaos was about to unfold. One guy just tried to stab someone. Is it just a bunch of drunk people having accidents? Or are we about to witness a lot of crime?
Scary, shouty people on the canals.
I'm like terrified tonight, guys. But it's not the only place where crime's happening. It's also happening online. And it's why I'm starting to use NordVPN, today's sponsor of the video. How are we even gonna get through here, Jack? NordVPN encrypts your personal data to prevent any hackers from stealing it online. Oh my God, my feet are wet, my feet are wet. Nord even has a dark web monitor that immediately alerts you anytime your data becomes compromised. Imagine if you were drunk trying to get around this part of the canal. I'm scared I'm gonna fall in. Nord even offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't like it, that's fine, you've got nothing to lose. My God, go, 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 go. What's happening?
Dude, that was terrifying.
Thank you, Nord, for sponsoring today's video. Use my link in the description to get 4 months off your 2-year plan. I thought I was about to get pushed in the canal. Now, thankfully, that wasn't the serial killer, but we were about to find evidence supporting our first theory.
I'm with him. Harry, come on!
Oh God, someone's...
Don't let him
We
fall
have
into
a
the
concerned
river.
citizen here.
Just please don't let him fall into the river.
Be careful of the river. Yes. You're safe.
He was really drunk. Like, if you're that intoxicated, I could see why you'd probably struggle to get back out.
Like, if we weren't there, he was probably going to be in the water.
There's literally no barrier here. A few of these cases are definitely probably just drunk people. Boom, drunk person in the canal. This is a Manchester City Council problem.
There's loads of people that have died on that lock. I remember the police hoardings being up and them taking the body out, and I'm talking, what, 6 years ago?
Someone is just balance beaming across the canal right there. We've literally just seen a young drunk guy cross it. It's what the lady was telling us about earlier, where she's seeing bodies pulled out the canal. There's a bridge only just there, but drunk people are just making a split-second decision, and it's costing their lives. Clearly, these canals aren't the safest for drunk people, but accidental drownings wasn't the only theory we were going to find evidence for tonight. Have you ever heard of the rumour, the Manchester pusher?
I've got friends that have been pushed in. One of my friends, it was clearly racially motivated.
Did they know who did it? Was it out of nowhere?
No.
I mean, that's like literally a crime right there. I'm like starting to get a bit sketched out being down here, to be quite honest. I can hear police sirens coming out now as well.
Oh God.
And as we made it to all the clubs and bars, literally above us there's clubs, across the canal is clubs. The night's chaos had only just begun. Guys, it is kicking off right now in Manchester. And it was about to get a lot worse. We've had 2 fights in 5 minutes. I've only just got it. Fucking hell, what's going on now? The gentleman has left and picked up some smashed glass. Now he's coming around the corner. I don't want to get stabbed. Alright, let's stand back a bit here, boys. Stand back. I mean, there's one thing that's clear, that Manny night out is rough. And we are right by the canal still.
Oh, it's an ambulance.
One guy just tried to stab someone. The canal's just down there and we've been recording the whole thing. I'm scared they're going to come after us now, so we better get a move on. So far we have strong evidence proving not only the drunk drownings theory, but also that Manchester has a serious crime problem. So the only theory left to investigate is whether Manchester really has a serial killer. There's been rumours of a Manchester pusher pushing people in canals.
I don't know if that's a bit of a...
That's from years ago.
Is
there truth behind it?
Maybe in the past it was a thing, I don't know.
Hello.
Hi.
How come you're so fit?
Did you get that on camera?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're just filming it, so.
Enjoy your night.
The police didn't deny that Manchester has a serial killer, even though they're saying a lot of these deaths are accidents. Too much is happening tonight.
The canal pusher.
The
canal
You've
pusher.
heard of this pusher?
Yes,
Is this
everyone-
real?
We don't know. There was like a gang of teenagers that were going around trying to steal stuff off people and then pushing them into the canal.
It adds to my theory of yes, some are accidents, but again, there are crimes going on around the canals anyway. I have set up an interview with some bouncers now, guys. They've worked here for like 20 years. They may have the answers on whether Manchester really does have a serial killer.
I hear people talking about how they walk down the canal and they've fallen in, or they've walked down the canal and someone's pushed them in, or they've been robbed, mugged.
But people actually just getting pushed in out of nowhere?
Some girl, it was probably about a year ago, she was walking up from the actual canal tunnel, just wet. And she went, "This man walked past me and pushed me in the canal." I was like,
Just a random man pushed her in the canal.
Yeah.
I feel like all three theories were just proved that there is so many crimes happening here in Manchester. So there was only one man left now to answer the most important question. Do you personally believe Manchester could have a serial killer?
It's really difficult because we can't say definitively there is no evidence at all, or yes, there is evidence. There's going to be a proportion of them that perhaps are crime, but I don't think there is, on the basis of what I know.
But one thing is clear, not all these canal deaths are accidents. My heart goes out to all the victims and their families. And guys, please stay safe when you're going out. Let's go home.